another episode of Your Chamber at Work. My name's Stacey Bruzzese, and I will be your host for this session. And with me as my first guest is Claire McCool. She's with Bank of New England and also part of the Board of Directors for the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce, and most importantly for this morning, a member of the committee for the Winning Opportunities for Women Conference. And we are so happy to have you here today, Claire.
Thank you, Stacey. It's wonderful to be here and talk about such a great event.
It is. I am looking forward to this year's event. This is the 18th annual, correct?
Actually, it's the 19th.
19th annual.
19th annual. We call it, it's referred to as the WOW Conference, which does stand, of course, for Winning Opportunities for Women. We are proud to say we're in our 19th year, and obviously it has a long history with a lot of people involved over the years. For myself personally, this is my 6th year on the committee. So just in the 6 years that I've been part of it, it's been wonderful to see it grow and expand to the wonderful event it is today. And we salute the founding mothers of the event, as we did a few years ago at our 15th conference. We recognize them then, and I'm sure that they're all very proud of what they started.
I'm sure they are. There's a lot of excitement around this event every year. For those watching at home who are not familiar with the event, can you give us a little history on how the event was started and what the purpose of it was?
The WOW Conference is, in essence, a celebration of women and their accomplishments. It is for women. Men are not excluded by any stretch of the imagination. We do welcome them. But it is obviously predominantly a women's event. We usually feature speakers who have excelled in their field, and they come and address our audiences with their stories and their histories of success, sometimes trial and tribulation, and how they overcame obstacles in their own careers. It does provide inspiration to our audiences. It has provided not only inspiration, but entertainment, sometimes humor, sometimes enlightenment, education, inspiration. All of those things are elements that our audiences have taken away each and every year.
It sounds like you have a fantastic lineup for this year, too. We'll get to that in a minute. But a little bit more on the history in terms of the growth of the event and the venue, because I know that it has been held in a couple of different locations.
When I first came on board, the conference was held at the NECC Tech Center. But we quickly outgrew that venue. We were at about 150 in attendance that year, and we decided that we wanted to add some more elements to the conference, such as what we call our WOW Marketplace, which involves vendors. We moved to the Black Swan in Georgetown, and from there we needed even more space, so we went to Atkinson Country Club. And now we have found a home which we like to think of as sort of a permanent home for us because we really enjoy it there, the Blue Ocean Music Hall in Salisbury. We do book these events all at chamber members, and Blue Ocean is a proud chamber member of the Haverhill Chamber. So we are there, and it's directly on the ocean. We can accommodate 300 people in the audience, which last year we came close to that. We were at 285 last year. We're hoping to hit the 300 mark this year. Blue Ocean has been great to us. This will be our 3rd year up there. This year they have added on a 2nd floor to their facility, which is a function room, which gives you perfect vistas of the ocean on a gorgeous, what we're hoping to be a gorgeous spring day. So we will be utilizing both floors of Blue Ocean, one for the conference and one for our WOW Marketplace, as well as for breakfast and lunch that day.
Excellent, excellent. So speaking of the marketplace, talk a little bit about that. What does the marketplace have in store for attendees?
The marketplace is an assortment of vendors who come. Our ladies love to do some shopping. And when we are at the conference, we have breaks during the day, we have breakfast in the morning and lunch, and everybody looks to do some shopping. We have people who will be selling jewelry, hair care products, skin care products, promoting their wedding planning skills. You can even book a cruise at our WOW conference. We will have travel agents there. We have an assortment every year, and this year's lineup is nothing to be sneered at. Right now, we're closing in on 20 vendors who will be selling their wares that day. So everyone is really excited. This is coming down to be one of our biggest and best WOW conferences ever.
Sounds like there's something for everyone. Now, I know the conference always, that you guys really strive to get some of the the biggest, brightest stars out there in the local area. Tell us who will be speaking at this year's conference.
Well, this year, no exception. We've been able to attract some wonderful speakers who, again, have excelled in their field and will come and tell us their stories. Our featured speaker is Liz Bruner. She was once a news anchor on Channel 5, WCVB, and I'm sure everybody will recognize her from there.
We know her well, yes.
Liz left Channel 5 to establish her own company known as Bruner Communications. In her company, she provides media training and expertise for public speakers and teaches them how to handle the media and how to conduct themselves in public. So we are very excited to have Liz. I'm sure she's going to be a real hit with our audience. We also have Marianne Esposito. For those who have an affinity for cooking or like to do it as a hobby or like to do it as a profession, you'll all be familiar with Marianne Esposito. She hosts her show on PBS called Ciao Italia. She is also a renowned author. She has written several cookbooks, and she will have some of those with her on that day. She will actually, in addition to speaking, she'll be one of our vendors in our WOW Marketplace, and she'll be autographing her cookbooks for anyone who would like to purchase one.
Nice. That is a special touch for this event. Excellent.
It is. We also have invited Cindy Stumpo. For those who may not be familiar with Cindy's name, Cindy is the CEO of C. Stumpo Development, which is a construction company. Cindy is the builder of custom luxury homes. And obviously, construction is somewhat of a male-dominated industry, and Cindy has not only excelled at that, she's risen to the top of her field, and she is well known in this area for those who have anything to do with the construction or financing aspects of home building. So again, we're also excited to have Cindy. She was also on a television show for HGTV known as Tough as Nails, where she showed her expertise in the building industry.
Yes.
So
excellent.
Again,
I'm very excited to meet Cindy.
Yes, I am too.
Any woman that can be tough as nails.
This is true. This is true. And not referring to her manicure either.
Exactly, exactly. And we have one more, and you have one more guest.
We do. We have Tricia Bradley. Tricia is the founder of a company known as Serious Fun Productions. Her company produces commercials and other television segments for local people and teaches them how to conduct themselves on TV. So she does develop on-air talent. So Tricia has a few amusing stories that she's going to be sharing with us that day, and I'm sure our audiences will be thrilled with her presence as well.
It sounds like a great lineup. We need to wrap up now, but before we do, tell our audience how they get tickets. How do they become involved if they want to be a vendor or if they want to attend the conference?
The easiest way is to contact the Chamber of Commerce, contact Stacey. She can put you in touch with anyone on the committee, but the Chamber does have a limited number of tickets available. We're happy to say the tickets are selling very rapidly, and we're closing in on actually being sold out. So if you're anxious to attend, don't hesitate. Call the Chamber right away. Right now, due to the snow, we extended our early bird pricing until the end of this week, and you can get them for $79. After that, the price increases to $99, but I do encourage you to do that, to act quickly because they are selling out. If you'd like to be a vendor, again, contact the Chamber and we can talk about that and let you know what we have available and how much space there is. We'd love to have as many vendors as possible.
Excellent. Thanks for being here this morning, Claire.
Thank you for having me.
And to our audience at home, thank you for watching this segment of Your Chamber at Work. We'll be right back. Our next guest is Nicole Sammartino with Career Resources Corporation. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you so much for having me, Stacey.
Excellent to have you here today. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about all of the programs and services you're providing. But before we get to that, can you give a little history and background for our audience at home about what Career Resources does and is?
Yeah, absolutely. We are a nonprofit in Haverhill. We've been established since 1968. So we work with individuals with developmental disabilities, acquired brain injuries, and other just kind of barriers to everyday life. We have 4 major programs that we kind of run. One is employment and vocational skills training. One is a residential and shared living program. One is a day services program. And then one is our kind of community partnerships that we really work with.
Excellent.
Yeah, so our shared living is wonderful. We have individuals who maybe can't live so much on their own but don't really want to live in a group setting or a hospital.
Sure.
So we partner them with individuals in the community that really want another family member and can really take care of them as they're their own family, which is great.
It's excellent because I know it's a great way for someone with maybe a not so big house but a very big heart to take someone in and help care for them and just give them some more of those life skills.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful to kind of see the stories and hear the funny stories of, oh, this happened the other day around the dinner table and stuff like that. So that's a wonderful program that we run. We work with about 10 families now, which is gone up in the last 3 or 4 years, which is a wonderful thing.
Are you in need of more families?
We're always in need of families.
Okay.
We're always in need of, I mean, it depends when we get the referrals, because sometimes they'll come from other individuals that might be in a different program that's similar to ours, but not career resources. It also sometimes happens that they were living in a group home and they decided, you know, it's too many people and I kind of want more of my own space, and so I really want to be more in a family setting. If that's not the case, we also have 7 homes throughout the Merrimack Valley area, all the way up to Salisbury and Amesbury, and we're building our 8th home in Methuen that is slated to open with the snow. Hopefully we can dig it up and put all of the stuff in the ground the middle of April.
Excellent.
And that will serve as a new home for women who have acquired brain injuries and who are currently living in hospital settings right now. So they'll be able to pick out the paint in their room, design their room. It's their own space, and they'll have some of our staff there 24 hours a day with any assistance that they may need.
How wonderful for them. That's
Yeah,
excellent.
they're very, very excited.
I'm sure they
We
are.
get calls every week like, oh, can I see this? And we send them pictures, and you know, this is this room. And when the roof went on, it kind of became reality, which is
Right,
wonderful.
right.
So, yeah, we work with a lot of great local construction workers and just appliance contractors and everything in the area that have really been good to us to kind of help get this house up and ready. So they've been working all winter long out there in the snow, which is great.
I know you have a lot of great career resources, thus the name,
We do.
for people too, to help them get gainfully employed. Talk a little bit about those programs.
So our employment and vocational programs are wonderful. We've been doing vocational programs with Mass Rehab Commission for over 25 years now, and about 3 or 4 years in 2011, we decided, oh, we're pretty good at this. We kind of could really work one-on-one with people and see what they need help growing with, and really working with employers that we have connections with in the community to fill their employment needs. And so we saw a really big need to help veterans. And so we launched our Veterans Employment Program in 2011 in conjunction with the Veterans Northeast Outreach Center. That's a mouthful, that one.
Absolutely, but important.
Yeah, it is important. And we've been working with them since then, 2011, and we have over 50 veterans that we've served now and helped place into employment, which is wonderful. So they go through an assessment and looking at their soft skills and all of the skills that they have already brought with them from their years in the service.
Which are so vast, really.
Oh,
Yeah,
they really are. And we kind of get them to look at it, how we can transfer them into everyday life and really make a career that they're interested in, not just going out and kind of getting a job because I need a job, but something that they can really build upon. And we actually have our recruiter and our employment services program is a veteran, and our job developer is a 30-year veteran, and so we've actually hired a few of them, and so is the Veterans Northeast Outreach Center. Some of them have 2 or 3 jobs now.
Right.
Yeah, so we're looking to expand upon it. We've actually been working with some veteran service officers in other communities, not just in Haverhill, so Lawrence and Methuen, Amesbury. So we're really looking to build upon that program, which is wonderful, and help as many veterans connected to the community.
It's so important to get those very strong community members acclimated back into
Yeah.
everyday living and jobs. So kudos to you for that. I know you're a nonprofit and you're funded in many different ways. Very briefly, because we are going to be running out of time, talk about where you get your funding.
Yeah. We are actually funded through DDS, so that's where most of our funding comes from.
Okay.
But a lot of our other funding comes from grant writing, so I do some grant writing, as well as fundraising. So I'm the Director of Development over there. We have about 4 major events throughout the year. that we work with community members and donations and staff and volunteers, and really pull those together to make it fun for the individuals that we serve, but also for the members of the community to have a great time and give back to the nonprofits in their area, which is wonderful.
Excellent. And I know there are so many wonderful nonprofits in this area, throughout the Merrimack Valley, really. And a few of them do provide employment services, as you do. Tell us a little bit about how Career Resources is different than some of those other programs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So we work with, again, Veterans Northeast Outreach Center, and then we also work with veterans, which a lot of the other programs are not connected with. So that kind of separates us a little bit. So if you're a veteran with a wide range of disabilities, we can help service you as well. And then we also have our one-on-one training that we do. So it's not kind of come to a classroom setting and you have to check everything off the checklist in order to kind of move on to the next phase. But we go at their own pace. So it's a 30-day program, but it could take you 6 months to complete the 30 days, depending on your skill level and your disability. So it's one-on-one trainings and not really a group training. So we can really hone in and work with them on what they already bring to the table, and then also add to that for them.
That is excellent.
Which is great.
Excellent information to have for our audience in case they know someone who needs some of these skills trainings. But also an excellent resource in the community. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks.
Very briefly, I know you mentioned fundraisers and you have a big one coming up.
We do, yeah.
Give us the 10-second version of that, Nicole.
Our big one that we do every year is called Spring Fling. It's coming up on Friday, March 27th over at Atkinson Country Club. We have about 250 community members. We're up to we just hit the 100 mark for donated silent auctions and live auctions. So some of our live auctions are really spectacular this year. We have a African photo safari for 2 that we're raffling off. We have some tickets to Disney World. We have 2 round trip tickets on Southwest Airlines that are available. So if anywhere the Southwest flies in the U.S.
items.
Yeah, everything from spa items to golf outings to jewelry. There's a lot of great things. And this year we've decided to have all of our resources go towards our veteran programming as well.
Awesome.
So that's going to help there.
How do we get tickets?
You can go to our website, which is crc-mass.org. So you can go there and click on the events page, and all of our events are listed there, but also Spring Fling. You could call Career Resources and ask for me. I have all of the information that you may need.
And we will include your information at the footer of this video.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Great.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Nicole. The time just flew by.
It really does. Always when
And
you're having
thank you
fun.
to our audience at home watching Your Chamber at Work. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Your Chamber at Work. Our next guest is Jean Schultz, Executive Director with Hillview Montessori School. Welcome, Jean.
Well, good morning, Stacey. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Hillview Montessori School, contrary to many popular beliefs, is actually a public school.
It certainly is. We're a public charter school. We are free to the public, but we follow the Montessori philosophy in our teaching.
And what makes a charter school different than a regular public school?
Regular public, well, there are 2 types of charter schools. There's actually a Horace Mann, which is affiliated with a district, but we are a Commonwealth charter, so we have our own board, and we can set up our curriculum and how we teach children in innovative ways.
Excellent. And of course, the Montessori education that they're all getting is really what sets you apart.
Yes.
From a lot of other charter schools even out there.
Right.
Talk a little bit about what Montessori is.
Okay. Currently, we have 2 Montessori public charter schools in Massachusetts, and we are one of those. We are multi-age. We teach in our classes. We have, for example, 3rd, 4th, and 5th years are in one grouping, and that allows the children, the older children, to teach the younger children, so it's a community of learners that are always helping each other. So that's one piece.
Okay.
We use a prepared environment based on Montessori materials. It's a 100-year-old curriculum, and you can go to any country in the world and you will find a similar classroom to ours because they're all set up similarly. Our teachers are also trained 3 years beyond regular teacher certification, so they have very high level of training to be in the classroom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what are the classroom sizes like?
Well, our classrooms have 26, 24 to 26, usually 26, and we try to just even it out with like first, second, and third, and then our upper level is fourth, fifth, and sixth, and our middle school will be a combination of seventh and eighth.
Excellent. So you really can take children in from kindergarten straight through those middle school years.
Correct. Yeah, and I think we try to have pure Montessori for kindergarten through sixth grade, but our seventh and eighth grade is a transition, so we have to prepare them for high school. So in seventh and eighth grade, we changed the curriculum a bit, and they work off of rubrics, but they get grades on their report card, and they have testing, and they have homework that they're having to be responsible for, just so that when they hit the high school, they're ready to mix in with everyone.
Right, definitely need to be prepared for what's ahead.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And at Montessori, at Hillview, are you able to offer some of the electives like math and excuse me. Of course you have math.
Yes, we do.
Like physical education and art and music?
Yes, we have all three. We call our physical ed fitness and try to teach the children skills that they're going to use for a lifetime. A lot of running, I have to tell you that.
Is that right?
Yeah, Amy wears them out pretty good, but it's all in an effort to keep them healthy.
That's good. Parents appreciate you wearing them out,
That's
too.
right.
As a
That's
parent,
right.
I can say.
Go home and take a nap, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I know we've heard recently in the whole education arena about Common Core. And as you were describing Montessori, it sort of sounds like you had that Common Core for Montessori all along, in that
Right.
something here is the same as Montessori in Africa. But how is Common Core across the United States affecting your program?
We had to take a look at it. We had to align our curriculum with it, but we did not have to make many changes, because Common Core asks you to do project-based learning, and all of Montessori it's not, we don't call it project-based, but it's the same sort of the same philosophy, where children take an interest and they research it and they present it. So that's sort of like working off projects. So we do that all the time. The other piece is in Massachusetts, we're doing the PARCC testing, which is all on the computer. So our students started preparing last year because we were part of the field test.
Oh.
And now this year, with all the children, 3rd through 8th, will be taking it on computers. They seem to like it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, anytime you can get children on computers,
Yeah,
they enjoy that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as a public school, I know that there are no tuition costs to the families that attend.
Correct.
But your funding comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
Outside of the district, it sounds like. So talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Well, there's the state finance unit at the State Department of Education works up a pure pupil cost based on Haverhill's budget.
Okay.
And then they take that cost and they take it from Haverhill state aid, because we're educating those children. So we have that amount of money. But what's different about our funding is that we also have to pay for our facilities. So the money that typically would go just for educating children, we have to sort of skim off the top enough to pay for our building.
For the beautiful building you have.
For a beautiful building
Yeah.
that we have, that we lease. And it just makes, we have to just be very frugal and conservative with our spending.
So are there fundraising initiatives that you
Yes.
participate in to
Right.
sort of offset some of those
We have an
additional-
annual appeal every year, and we just, this past weekend, had an auction, an annual auction, and hopefully next year we'll have a breakfast too, but
Right.
you work into those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're a big award winner this year, receiving an award from the Greater Haverhill Chamber of
Yes.
Commerce, as well as another from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.
That's right.
During your charter renewal process. So
Right.
what have those awards meant to you and to Hillview Montessori this year?
Well, the charter renewal is the best of what we do, because that allows us to stay as a charter school for another 5 years.
Okay.
Every 5 years, we have to prove that we are doing what we say we are doing and that children are being successful, and then we would get another charter. So we've had 2 charter renewals, so now we're on to year 15.
Congratulations.
Right,
That's
and again,
that's a big hurdle.
It's a big hurdle, yeah, and you can relax a little bit.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And the chamber was wonderful to give us the education award. It just helps us be more part of this Haverhill community, to be acknowledged in that way. It was it's just
Well, we
such an
appreciate
honor.
what you do.
Yeah,
Yes, we
thank you.
definitely appreciate what you do, and all of your staff and teachers, educators, and office staff alike. You're all fantastic up there.
Thank you, thank you.
So in closing, if somebody wanted to find out more about a Montessori education, or in fact become part of the lottery, which you hold annually, to enroll one of their students, how do they reach you?
Okay, we have a website, hillviewmontessori.org, and we have all of the information on there about the lottery, when we do it. Parents would apply, and then every February we have the lottery, and students are chosen from that. This past year we had 23 openings only. Sometimes we have up to 36. But in the regulations, siblings are allowed to be first in the lottery.
Oh.
So if you have a second grader and a 4-year-old is coming up, they have a space.
Okay,
So
that
that
makes
takes,
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that
that
takes
makes
one of
sense.
those 36 places. So that's
So it's very
basically-
competitive, so they should call you and get on the list early if
right.
they're interested.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Jean.
It's a
I can't believe
pleasure.
we're already at the end of our time.
I know.
But it was great to speak with you, and I hope
Thank
that
you.
our audience learned a little bit more about Montessori.
I hope so.
And if they have questions, they can definitely reach out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our audience for watching at home, Your Chamber at Work. We will see you real soon with another episode.